Today we are touring our world-class ball python facility. This is a small room where I keep some of my pet reptiles. So in this first cage here we've got an awesome bearded dragon. Then we've got a pair of Fiji iguanas that I recently picked up at the Reptile Expo. And then if we go this side, here we've got some of our last Western hognose we've got left. You guys know I was breeding actually quite a lot of hognose, and recently we slimmed down our collection just to keep some as pets. So here is one of the ones I've kept back. This is a beautiful super conda exantic. Hognose has got great personality and make great awesome pets. Then on top here we've got some of our merchandise items. We've got some different shirts here. We've also got our RFC caps, and then we've got a couple of hatch certificates that we give out with every purchase. If you buy a snake from us, this is just to ensure that you've got all of the genetics. So before we head into our main breeding facility, we're going to focus on our backup battery system. So in South Africa we struggle with constant power supply, so it's essential to have some sort of battery backup. So we've got our complete solar system here. We've got quite a big system for the snakes. We actually have got a 20 kilowatt backup battery system. So this is definitely important if you want to have constant electricity supply to your ball pythons or to your reptiles in general. Heading towards the main facility, we've got the fire extinguisher. Also very important to have some sort of backup in case there is something that goes wrong. So it's very important to have a fire extinguisher always by hand. Here we're going into the adult room, our adult room of ball pythons. So all of these animals in this room is either breeding or they're nearing breeding age. So this side we've got all of our females. So this is mainly all females, and most of these females are either breedable or proven breeder females. Then here on my right hand side, as you guys can see, is we've got a huge industrial sink. It's good to have a sink where there's a lot of working place as well, that you can, it just makes the cleaning experience a lot easier. And of course then we've got this move around trolleys that we move around throughout the facilities. This also help to clean the animals a lot more faster and effectively. So here we've got a 9000 BTU aircon, and in the main breeding room we've actually got two of these units, and in the hatchling room we'll show you guys we've actually got a bit of a bigger unit, and this just helps us to control the ambient temperature. I feel with the ball pythons you need to have a constant ambient temperature, and it shouldn't fluctuate too much. So the AC unit really helps with that. This is one of the tubs we use for our adult females. As you guys can see, the females got enough space to actually thermoregulate and build the follicles if need be. Another thing we've got throughout the facility is this temperature control, or this temperature thermometers, and this just helps us to have a good constant idea of what the room temperature is at the time. This is also not always a true reflection of what's going on inside in the cage, so sometimes we use a temperature heat gun just to get an accurate reading on the cages itself. So like I said, this is all adult females. And going to this side of the room, here we've got some younger females, also some first time females. As you guys can see, we've actually got some males with females. You can actually try and see if this female is busy breeding. So they're not locked up at the time, but this is a yellow belly pied female, and she's bred to an Enchi lace head for pied. So some real exciting pied combinations coming hopefully from this pairing. Then on top of this rack we've got some few smaller cages for younger males. These are for males that's normally either nearing to breed, or they're just smaller sized males that we like to keep in these sizes of enclosures. Then this side we've got some more adult females. So everything on this side of the wall is adult breeding females, and we've actually got some pretty big females here. Here's a hypo spot-nosed desert ghost just after freshly shed, and this female's around 3 kgs of size. And as you guys can see, is yet again this FP70 tubs gives the female enough space to thermoregulate and change as need be. Then here we've got all of our adult males. So this is all of our proven breeder males or breeding males. These tubs are a bit smaller. For instance, here we've got a metal flake or double head metal flake pied And you guys will also see a difference between how we keep the males and the females. We like to keep the males on paper, and we like to keep the females on cocoa husk. We've just seen that the males do better on paper than on cocoa husk. And guys, let's go take a look at the hatchling room. So this is where we keep all of our hatchlings and some of our holdbacks. We've got 5 racks on this side. So this is where we set up all of our hatchlings. As soon as they hatch out, they go into these smaller bins where we keep fresh hatchlings in. So here we've got a beautiful pastel super spot nose Mojave leopard, and he is actually posset ultra mole and 100% head for clown. So real awesome animal. So as you guys can see, this is where we've got all of our hatchlings. This time of the year, most of our hatchlings has already been sold, so we're only left with a couple of animals from the season. But yeah, this wall is able to keep around 500 hatchlings, so it's quite a lot of animals in a small confined space. Then we've got an overflow rack here. This is basically if all of these racks are full and we've got excess hatchlings, they go over into this rack. Then over this side, we've got all of our holdback animals from the last season and in this season. So these are the FP10 tubs, and they actually are very good for animals up until words, I'd say 800 grams. Then you need to move them up to bigger enclosures. So for instance, here we've got a beautiful pastel spot nose hyper clown female, and she will be part of our 2025 breeding season, and a real stunning animal. So this 2 racks allows us to keep 140 animals. So we're able to keep 140 hatchlings in this section, and around, like I said, 500 in this section. So in total, in this room itself, we can keep up towards, I'd say, around 800 animals at the time. And in the near future, if we'd like to expand, we can probably house around 1,000 animals at one time in this room. So just the overall recap, like you guys saw in the other rooms as well, we've got the aircon. So here we've just got a 12,000 BTU system. Because this room is a bit more open and a bit, how can you say, you're not so full, this aircon does exactly what we need. This is where we've got our walk-in incubator. So as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the walk-in incubators, just because they tend to keep the temperature a lot better, especially if you're working with a lot of animals or producing a lot of snakes. So in the walk-in incubator, we've got a few of these shelvings. This is basically just to keep the egg boxes. We don't have any eggs at the moment, but yeah, we just basically got these containers where we put the vermiculite and of course the eggs in. But yeah, that's it from the facility. I hope you guys enjoyed this facility tour.